Welcome to the month of Virgo. I'm sure there are many of you in this room that know what Virgo is and that understand the sign. But for those of you that are kind of new to this kind of thought, let me explain just a few things. Virgos are the workers of the universe. They're the service people. They are normally workaholics with super drive and less emotion. They are usually hypercritical, but because they enjoy the effort of the small details. They're wonderful on that level. They're not so good in emotion and feeling, and they're, it's like Virgo can go past an accident and say, terrible thing, I really like that car. They have this super ability to see through a situation and to be totally analytical. The fly in the Jews for the Virgo is on the emotional level. They're very constrained, and oftentimes it gets in the way of the person that they are. But for our month of Virgo, which is what we're about to discuss, how does it relate to the mass of people? There's a lot of action here with Neptune. And Neptune, even the word itself, what does Neptune mean to all of us? Neptune is the god of the sea. And therefore, everything that's underneath the sea relates, like drugs and negative actions of that type, and the underworld, organized crime, etc. All of those things relate to Neptune. Neptune is prevalent this month, meaning what? That there are a lot of veils, because we have lived a little bit in a fog, not seeing things clearly, not be able to put things in direct order. In this month, the fog will lift. Basically, the idea for the entire month is we're going to be out of our comfort zone. We're going to have to rethink that which we thought about before and change the rules. We're going to have to become realistic. The ruler of the month is Mercury. And of course, everybody knows Mercury, this only liquid metal that's known, Mercury is the planet of communication. And so too, particularly now, for a lot of us, it's going to have a difficulty to express our ideas, difficulty to express relationships. And therefore, I ask most of you to be very careful and not to make any decisions about relationships in this particular time. We have time in the future, but right now, it's awkward, it's heavy, and it's a time for retrospect, a time for planning, a time for looking to see the new advances for ourselves in the future, a new business, a new home, a new love, whatever. This is the time of planning, of trying to see how we can step forward without tripping over ourselves. And so let's do a meditation on the letters and see if we can't help ourselves go a little bit forward. Put your feet flat on the floor and cross your arms. Lift your eyes slightly above the field of vision and close them. I'd like you to visualize the number 3, 3 times. And the number 2, 3 times. And the number 1, 3 times. Allow the muscles of your face and your head to relax. down the spine, back of the neck, to relax. Your arms, down to the ends of your fingers, relax. And down your spine, down your thighs into the bottom of your feet. And for a few moments in time, just listen to my voice and come with me. We are walking together. We're walking down a path, and on both sides there seems to be roses, flowers that smell beautiful. They're full grown, and the sun is shining brightly with a soft breeze on our face. And as we are walking, there are people around us that are close to us. A child, a loved one. Visualize them, hold their hand, and walk together on the path. And just feel at one with all that surrounds you. And as you see the flower and smell its beautiful fragrance, remember that God is in that flower, as He is in that person that your hand you hold. So too in the sky and all that surrounds us, and all that is good in our lives, and all that is not, is a gift. And so we walk until we find a small staircase that leads higher and higher and higher. And as we're walking, we find ourselves on the top of a huge plateau, flat, as if someone took a knife and cut this mountain. Completely flat. And as we walk onto the plateau, we can see the beautiful grandeur of green grass and trees. We look down and we see the beauty that is there. Forest and trees and flowers. And in that we see our God. And now turn to that person that you're with and look into their eyes and see there. Also, as they look back to you, as God's image looks back to you. Embrace for a moment and sit together on the plateau, gazing over the beautiful terrain. And for a moment, I'd like you to take the letter resh, the letter which created the planet Mercury, the ruler of the month of Virgo. But remember, Mercury is the planet of communication. In itself, is very unsteady. So it's good for us to think as we do this, that our communication must be solid within this framework, not unstable as the metal Mercury. To be careful to whom we speak, of whom we speak, And if we acknowledge that, we can use the letter resh to help us, to guide us. Allow it through our whole being. Pass it through our feet. And let it go. The yud, the smallest of all the letters of the alphabet. And yet we learn something beautiful from this letter yud. It is the first of all the letters because it is the smallest. So every letter has to begin with a yud. And from this we learn that if our ego can be placed like the yud to serve all the letters, and by so doing to serve the Creator, if we can say that our ego can be built, if we use it for service, if we use it for the benefit of others, and not engorging ourselves who we are and what we are, that we learn that we are not, then we can use the yud for our benefit. So take the letter yud and drop it through the center of the head and let it engulf, feel it enter down through the back of the neck, down the spinal column, into the legs. Very simple, small, and powerful energy. The yud, because of its simplicity and its gentleness and its minuteness, is the most powerful of all. Remember that the Creator chose Har Sinai to give His Torah because it was one of the smallest of mountains. Great things happen when we realize that all we are is instruments to create a force. And all that we're given is to prove that point. If we have a talent and don't use it for others, it's like it doesn't exist. This is the time in this month of Virgo to work, to create projects, life change, all the things that we will manifest in the months to come. Guard our mouth, because there may be incidents of fights with people that we love so much. And watch our path, that even though we walk on a path that seems negative for us, there are always flowers on the side. There's never a door that closes, that there isn't some way a window that's open. And now, let's stand up on that plateau again and be thankful for the eyes to see the beauty that's below us, and to walk the stairs down again. Down, 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 down. Until we come to the road. This lovely path. filled on either side with life. You know, the life is also in the weeds as in the roses. We must take note of that. And now we go back to the here and the now. And I will count from 1 to 5, and at 5 to wake, perhaps with more energy than before. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Chodesh Tov.